Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, today we are together in part number 3, lesson number 1 in our Articulations and Characteristics program. In the previous recordings, we covered part number 1 and part number 2, and today, inshallah, we continue part number 3. We start Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa bis-salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today we are going to talk about the organs of speech. And when I ask and say, what are the organs of speech? It looks a little bit theoretical, but actually it is practical. And let me ask it in another way. What do you use to pronounce the letter B? How did I pronounce the letter B? And let's put the letter in its sukoon form. And let us say ab. What did I do? What did I use? What organs in my mouth did I use to pronounce this letter? And the answer is the two lips just colliding against each other. I pronounced the letter B, right? So these are the organs of speech that I use to pronounce this letter. But there are 29 letters. So are they all pronounced from the lips? Of course not. So there are organs that we use, different organs that we use to pronounce different letters. So let us have a look and come to know these parts in the mouth that we use to pronounce the letters in the Arabic alphabet. First part is al-jawf. And I'm using the Arabic words because I want you to get used to it. The Tajweed rules books. The Tajweed means the Quran reading rules. So these books, they use these words. And they are common in all the books. But when we translate the words in other languages, they do not become the same. Okay? So let's get used to these words. First of all, al-jawf. What is al-jawf? It's the empty space in the throat and mouth. So this is the first thing that we are going to talk about regarding the organs of speech, which is al-jawf, the empty space in the throat and mouth. What is the second thing we use to pronounce the letters? The throat, al-halq, okay? And then comes the mouth, al-fam. And in the mouth, we can find the tongue, which is a very, very extremely important organ in the mouth, which we use to pronounce most of the Arabic alphabets. And then comes the lips, after it the teeth, the upper palate, and comes then at the end the nasal cavity, al-khayshum. So we have the mouth, al-fam, the tongue, al-lisan, the lips, al-shafatan, the teeth, al-asnan, the upper palate, al-hanaki al-a'la, the nasal cavity, al-khayshum. And we are going to have a quick look at each one of them. Here I got this diagram which shows the inside of the organs of the face and the mouth especially. So we have here the throat, and just by the throat we have the vocal cords here, and then we have something called lisan al-mizmar, the epiglottis, where the throat also passes through. And then after that we have, this is the hard palate here. This is the upper palate actually, and it's divided into a hard part and a soft part. We're going to talk about this. This is the tongue here, which is part of the speech organs, of course. And then we have the lips here, the two lips. So let's have a look at the first organ, which is the empty space in the throat and mouth. Al-Jawf. What does Al-Jawf in Arabic means? It means exactly the empty space. So if I have a glass of water here and it's filled with water, 2/3 filled with water, then where is Al-Jawf? It's the empty space here, the remaining third. So Al-Jawf is the empty space of something. So if I say Al-Jawf, when I'm talking about the mouth, this means the empty space in the whole of the mouth. The mouth empty space and the throat empty space. So Al-Jawf consists of both parts, the mouth empty space and the throat empty space. Here we have this drawing, and this is the throat here, and it's an empty space, the throat, and the mouth empty space and the opening of the lips. So all this is called Al-Jawf. This part, we have 3 letters that are pronounced by using the empty space. We are going to learn step by step. What are these letters? How are they pronounced from an empty space, right? Okay, so this is number 1, first organ, Al-Jawf, which is the empty space. Okay, then comes the throat, Al-Halq. Here is the throat. This part is the throat. And the throat is divided into 3 parts. The furthermost part of the throat, Aqsa al-Halq. And then comes the middle part of the throat, Wast al-Halq, the middle part. And then comes the closest part of the throat, which is this part, Adna al-Halq. And there comes a question. Closest to what? And furthermost compared to what? To the lips. So this part compared to the distance between here to the lips, it is the furthermost part of the throat. Aqsa. Aqsa means the furthermost. And then comes the middle. And then comes the closest, of course, the closest part of the throat towards the lips. Okay? And it's called Adna al-Halq. Exactly like the directions, the north, the east, west, south. And it is compared with the sun, okay? Connected with the sun. And here also it's connected with the lips. So the throat is this part. It's divided into 3 parts. The furthermost, Aqsa al-Halq, the middle, Wast al-Halq, and the closest, which is Adna al-Halq. Okay, so this is the second organ of speech that we use to pronounce the letters. And then comes the mouth. The mouth includes the tongue, al-lisan, the 2 lips, al-shafatan, the teeth, al-asnan, and al-hanak al-a'la, which is the upper palate. So all these are included in the mouth. First, let's talk about al-lisan. Al-lisan is the tongue. The tongue is this, okay? These are the lips and this is the tongue. It's just a drawing, very simple drawing, but I always go with simple things. It's easier to understand and easier to, to visualize. And actually, my slogan was learn with simplicity, because everything is simple actually, and it's practical. I'm talking about reading the Quran, okay? So, and now my slogan is enjoy your journey with us, the journey of learning how to read Quran. So, take it easy and enjoy your development and enjoy what you are learning. So let's go back to the tongue. Here we have the tongue. You know the tongue, this part is loose and this part is tied up. The inside part is tied up and this part is loose. These are not the lips. These are not the lips. These are the inside part of the mouth. It looks like the lips, but it's not the lips. This is the outer part of the tongue. And this is where the tongue is tied up. Okay, so here, this is called the tongue root. Okay, where it's tied up. Deep inside the throat, deep inside the mouth, the tongue is tied up. And it's called the tongue root. Jadri lisan. The tongue is also divided into 3 parts. Aqsa lisan, wast lisan, and tarf lisan. And I think we just heard these words before. Aqsa al-halq, which is the furthermost part. And here we are using another word, rare, tongue. Okay, so this is the deepest part of the tongue from the lips. And then the middle part of the tongue, and then the front part, the tip of the tongue. This part, okay? And the tip of the tongue is not just this dot. This dot is called the head of the tongue. This dot here. But this part is the tip of the tongue. So we have the tip of the tongue, the middle part of the tongue, and we have the rear tongue, or the furthermost part of the tongue. This is where the tongue is tied, and this is where the tongue is loose, all this area, okay? And then we have also, that really is important in pronouncing some 1 letter or 2 or whatever, we're going to take it into details more. This is the edge of the tongue. The width of the tongue, the thickness of the tongue. This is hafat al-lisan. Hafat al-lisan, the edge of the tongue. So the tongue has 2 edges, left edge and right edge. Okay, so this is the tongue and its parts, different parts in the tongue. Let's have another look here. And this is, I'm talking about the tongue edge, because the tongue edge is also divided into the furthermost edge. Now this is the edge as we mentioned before, right and left edges, okay? And then we have aqsa al-haffa, the furthermost part of the edge is this part, okay? And then we have wast al-haffa, this is the middle part of the edge of the tongue, okay? And then we have the closer edge, adna al-haffa, which is all this part, right and left, okay? So the tongue here is divided into 3 parts, main parts, tip of the tongue, middle part of the tongue, the rear tongue, and then we go to the edge of the tongue. We will see that it's also divided to furthermost edge, middle edge, and the closer edge. And it's right and left edge, okay? So, thank you so much for your attendance and attention. I hope you benefited from this recording, and inshallah, next time we continue part number 4 in our lesson talking about the organs of speech. If you like this lesson, if you find it beneficial, so kindly please show me or tell me or inform me that you like it by pressing the like button in my channel. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next recording. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.